trick-or-treating with the 7 Sinister Sisters. Hey there, stargazers. I'm Dean Regas, astronomer for the Cincinnati Observatory.
And I'm James Albury, director of the Kika Silva Plot Planetarium in Gainesville, Florida. We're here to help you find your way around the sky tonight.
Because Halloween greeting cards often depict a witch riding a broom in front of a full moon, many people have the mistaken notion that there's a full moon every year at Halloween, when in fact, we won't have a full moon on Halloween again until 2020. This Halloween, the gibbous moon will be trick-or-treating in the sky with Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury.
But there is something you can see in the night sky every Halloween that is even niftier and definitely spookier, because every Halloween, the Pleiades, the 7 sisters, fly high across the sky that night. Let's show you. Okay, we're facing east before dawn, and Jupiter and Mercury will be visible. Jupiter will be very bright, and you can use the Big Dipper to arc to Arcturus and then march onto Mercury.
Then look southwest, about an hour after sunset Monday night the 27th, 4 days before Halloween. The first thing you'll notice is a young crescent moon. There's not enough time for the moon to reach the full phase before Halloween.
So, no full moon for the witch to fly across this year. Just to the moon's left, you'll see the bright reddish-orange planet Mars. Mars will remain low in the southwest evening sky for the rest of the year as Earth leaves Mars farther and farther behind as we both orbit the Sun.
Let's advance one day and the moon will fatten up a bit and move above Mars on Tuesday evening.
Let's go one more day to Wednesday evening. The moon's a bit fatter and a bit farther from Mars.
Thursday night, the moon is waxing more and has moved farther east. Notice how much the moon moves from one night to the next.
Friday night, Halloween, the moon is still a long way from full. But there is a Halloweeny object in this evening sky. Let's turn and look northeast.
And the Pleiades are just rising. But why are the Pleiades and Halloween linked in so many people's minds?
Let's quote Jack Horkheimer on this one. To many people, long ago, when the Pleiades reached their highest point at midnight, it was a signal that this was the time of the year to honor the dead. Many peoples believed that a great ancient cataclysm occurred when the Pleiades were overhead at midnight, such as the Great Biblical Flood or the sinking of Atlantis.
The belief was so widespread that in Mexico, the Pyramid of the Sun, Teotihuacan, was built to align with the setting of the Pleiades, as were all the city's west-running streets.
And in ancient Greece, several temples were lined up with the rising and setting of the 7 sisters.
The Aztec and Maya not only believed that the world would come to an end on one of these Pleiades overhead at midnight nights, but were convinced that the world had already been destroyed and recreated 4 times on just such a night.
Should we rename them the 7 Sinister Sisters?
Although the Pleiades no longer reach their highest point, that is, culminate exactly at midnight on Halloween, as they did in 1000 BC. Nevertheless, they are still very high in the southeast every Halloween at midnight, as a modern reminder that our ancestors were deeply moved and affected by the cosmos and used many cosmic coincidences to determine important religious and ceremonial events in their life.
And for what we can see this year, get outside and look up after sunset at the young moon near Mars next week. And get outside this Halloween or any Halloween at midnight. Look high in the east for the beautiful cluster of stars known as the Pleiades and the 7 sisters, or as Jack liked to call them on Halloween, the 7 Sinister Sisters.
And as you look at them, remind yourself that these same stars have been seen by thousands of generations who have gone before us, who saw them as very important in determining their own special days of the year when they honored their dead.
And although it might be a bit creepy, don't you agree that 7 sisters at midnight are even better than a full moon at Halloween? I mean, 7 witches beat a full moon any night.
Keep looking up.